Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings from the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel. By way of introduction, my name is Gabriel Ukpeh. I chair the Committee on Foreign Direct Investments in Akwa Ibom State. I've been doing that in the last 6 years. Before then, I was a senior partner with PricewaterhouseCoopers for about 21 years. I'll just take you through a few things about Akwa Ibom and what we're doing in the tech sector in Akwa Ibom State. I have some slides, if you can please put it up, please. Yeah, this is technology, so. It's not coming. Oh, geez. All right, I think it will be available for distribution. I'm sure maybe sometime along the way they may bring it up. Akwa Ibom State itself, just as a bit of background, is actually Akwa Ibom State. I need to teach Mrs. Ntoma how to pronounce it properly. It's a state that has about 6 million people, going towards 7 million. One of the most peaceful states in the south-south region of Nigeria. We have the largest reserves of oil and gas in the country. ExxonMobil works entirely out of Akwa Ibom State. They pump out upwards of 500,000 barrels of oil on a daily basis. We also have the longest shoreline in the country, about 129 kilometers. And I'll tell you why I just mentioned that in passing. When the governor came on board in 2015, he came in from the private sector. He used to be an executive director of a bank. Before then, he used to work with PwC. He came up with a 5-point agenda and then moved on in 2019 to an 8-point agenda, which included industrialization, aviation development, and I'll talk a bit about aviation, rural development, agriculture, human capacity development. I'll talk a lot about that. Security, infrastructure, and SMEs. Let me focus a bit on Akwa Ibom State and what we try to do in that space. A bit on submarine fiber optic cables. It's a critical aspect of internet infrastructure and can fundamentally change the economy of any state where it lands. It's the global backbone of the internet, connecting economies, businesses, people, all around the world. About 99% of international communications traffic is carried by subsea cables. Projections estimate that the demand for broadband internet is likely to double every 2 years, more so with 5G technology coming on board. Life is increasingly digitalized, and our digitalized lives are stored, secured, processed, enhanced, and distributed by data centers. Our finances, communications, healthcare, recreation, entertainment, education, transportation, work, and social lives are often and increasingly online. They're also the generators of much of the interactive digital content that we use. The personalized shopping recommendations, the on-the-fly driving directions, the online assistance, selecting common things like a restaurant, hotels, even plane flights as well, the digital grocery coupons all add up to what the internet is changing in our lives. The experience of COVID-19 has made it mandatory to enhance online connectivity and remote working facilities right across the globe. A good example is this program. I think Mr. Tim said last year it was entirely online. Before, in a few years back, nobody thought of online meetings or workshops. Everybody physically traveled to be in one place. I'm a director of a few boards of banks, and in the last 2 years, we've had our meetings online. Very convenient. You don't need to spend time traveling, checking into hotels, dashing to meetings. You just wait for the time, you hold the meeting, 3-4 hours, it's done. And it's improved our lives tremendously. With the recent auctioning of 5G technology in Nigeria, the shape of the industry will certainly change. For your information, Northern Virginia has the largest data center market in the world. And we're going to focus a bit about data centers because that's what we do in Akwa Ibom State. Data centers use large amounts of costly electricity and water, and accordingly have emerged as a leading innovator at the forefront of increasing operational efficiency in the use of energy and water. Among other innovations, data centers have used digitization, advanced sensors, and machine learning within data centers to dramatically reduce energy and water consumption. It's been recently announced that 2 additional submarine fiber optic cable systems are heading for Africa, with capacities of upwards of 120 terabytes per second, which is more than the total current combined capacity currently coming into Africa and should be operational within the next 2 years. I had a map of it, of the cables coming into Africa and the various cables that we have and the speeds that we currently have. Maybe much later that may be circulated or put up on the website. I just put a leaf from the World Bank digital economy just to emphasize the impact of undersea cables and what they can do. Part of what they said was the digital infrastructure itself provides a way for people, businesses, and governments to get online and link with local and global digital services, thus connecting them to the global digital economy. They also talked about digital platforms, which offer products and services accessible through digital channels, such as mobile devices, computers, and the internet. They enable producers and users to create value by interacting with each other. They also identified digital financial services which enable individuals and businesses to conduct transactions electronically or online and open a pathway to a range of digital financial services in addition to digital payments, including credit, savings, and insurance. Another aspect of the digital economy is digital skills, which we're talking about here, constitute technology skills together with business skills for building or running a startup or an enterprise. Greater digital literacy further enhances adoption and use of digital products and services among the larger population. The last one is digital entrepreneurship, and I think that's where we're focusing on today. And innovation creates an ecosystem to bring the digital economy to life with new growth-oriented ventures and the transformation of existing economies. In addition to that, we're hoping to bring a digital center to Akwa Ibom State and the subsea cable. We believe that some of the opportunities, investment opportunities, would be the power distribution and management products that can be rendered there. Also the design, construction, optimization, and maintenance of the data centers. There's facilities management around the data centers. There's energy management services. There are also fiber interconnectivity, consulting, and marketing. There's the IT hardware, immersion cooling, and then the data center materials, cleaning, the contamination, and other aspects of investment that can happen when you have a data center. Akwa Ibom State is working assiduously to ensure that an undersea cable lands on its shores in the next 12 to 24 months. I did say that we have the longest shoreline, so the governor is actively working with global providers, Equinor and maybe to Africa, to ensure that at least one lands in Akwa Ibom State itself. We've been told that the speed of that fiber cable will be 20 times faster than the current fastest undersea cable that's coming to Nigeria. And the related data will be about at least 10 times cheaper. We know that data, the cost of data is a big problem when it comes to internet access. So that's what the governor is doing. We're also working to ensure that a world standard data center is established in Akwa Ibom State. Discussions have gone very far in terms of that. Why Akwa Ibom State? I don't have a few minutes, so I'm just trying to outline as many as possible. One, why would you want to come and invest in Akwa Ibom State? We have the longest shoreline in the country, and so you have a large choice to pick where to land your fiber cable. I did say it's about 129 kilometers of shoreline. We also, data centers require a lot of electricity and water, and it's 24/7. It has to be on. Akwa Ibom State has the largest reserves, like I said, of crude oil and gas in the country. And so you can buy, and install thermal power plants, generate, electricity to ensure that, the data centers, work 24/7. That's an opportunity to invest as well. Data centers and indeed other manufacturing businesses are best sited in import duty tax-free locations And as we speak, Akwa Ibom State has the largest free trade zone in the country. It's all of about 64,000 hectares of free trade zone. So if you site your plants there or site your industry there or your consulting business there, you import things, you don't need to pay import duties, you don't need to pay any taxes whatsoever. And then the best of all, you sell your things in foreign currency. So you need to fight and worry about exchange differences and all that. I think there's somewhere along the line. Why Akwa Ibom State? Businesses require a peaceful and conducive environment to thrive. Akwa Ibom State has been declared the safest state to carry on business. And with the implementation, the government is implementing what they call a safe city. This is by the Israelis, just to ensure that, because without security, no investors will come. And that's what the governor is doing, actively doing. We're implementing a safe city to ensure that you can come in, do your business without any issues at all. And then in terms of the ease of doing business, he set up, the one-stop shop foreign direct investments committee, which I had. So you come into the state, you don't need to go around ministries or go anywhere to look for anything. You come to our office, it's a one-stop shop. We work with you from cradle to grave until you start your business itself. Akwa Ibom State is also an emerging technology and innovation hub with a planning to build a science park with emphasis on IT and related subjects in educational institutions. The governor realizes the importance of education, and so he has restructured the educational system to emphasize on STEM, and then IT related subjects as well. In terms of accessibility to the state, I think I don't know how many people flew down here on Ibom Air. It's was declared the best airline for 2020. It's the youngest fleet in the country. It's on time every time. And that's the sort of things that the governor is bringing to bear in terms of bringing his private sector experience into governance itself. So accessibility to the state, you don't have any issues at all. From Abuja here, that at least 3 flights to Akwa Ibom on a daily basis, from Lagos the same, and there are interconnectivities with other cities. I think, let me just put a quote from Steve Jobs. I think he's the one that said, technology is nothing. What's important is that you have a faith in people and that they are basically good and smart. And if you give them tools, they will do wonderful things with them. So in that regard, what the governor is doing is to focus on restructuring the educational system to lay more emphasis on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And also, like I said, IT-related subjects. That's been implemented as we go along. So in the next few years, Akwa Ibom will be the next tech hub of the country. And I hope this program, in 1 or 2 years' time, will be held in Akwa Ibom rather than in Abuja. Hello, Mrs. Ntim, is she listening? Just to conclude, the governor, His Excellency, Mr. Emmanuel, and this is still why would you want to come and invest in Akwa Ibom? He understands the language of business, having gone through governance from the private sector, gone into governance from the private sector, and has brought a private sector perspective to bear in governance, and is redefining the concept and practice of governance in Nigeria. And that's what he's doing to bring private sector, like I said, experience to Nigeria itself. So watch out, the space for Akwa Ibom. A subsea cable is coming. Data centers are being established. Electricity is not a problem. We have our own Ibom power that's generating electricity. So we welcome, and there's a free trade zone. So welcome every investor to Akwa Ibom. I think they'll flash my numbers. I'll be around for some time. Email address is there. Please contact me. We currently have well over, I think they're probably over 20 tech and innovation hubs in Akwa Ibom State as we speak. And they're employing thousands and thousands of people. In fact, I met a guy in Lagos who said he's relocating to Akwa Ibom. Why? It's more peaceful, access to various things are there, and Lagos is becoming a very hot zone for them. So please come to Akwa Ibom. If you haven't been there before, just jump on the plane. Ambassador, you're kindly invited. His Excellency will welcome you anytime you want to come. And then come and see what's happening there. You will be amazed at what is happening. Thank you, and I wish you a very, very successful conference, and Merry Christmas in advance. Thank you.